Good afternoon, family and friends. Mark Johnson with David Johnson coming to you again from Oklahoma City. And today's segment is about the missions work that Reverend David Johnson has done over his 70 years of activity. We're going to talk about the different continents that he's visited, some of the countries he's visited, the people involved, and just let him, talk to us about this special time of his life where he's served in missions in so many different places. So at this time, let's bring him on in and say, how you doing, Brother Dave?
Fred, how are you today?
I am doing fine, thank you.
Good.
The missions work that you have done goes way back. I mean, even before you married Mom, you were active in missions work with your sister Clara and your brother-in-law Les Nash. Tell us some about that.
Well, it goes way back to childhood because we would visit in Mexico and visit some of the churches for ministry. So even when I was a kid at home, so this was nothing new. And then the opportunity came in several colleges to direct their missions programs, and I enjoyed doing that very much. And we sent teams all over the world.
Great.
In the summer, we call it summer missions.
Perfect. And before you did any of the work with the colleges, you were more focused on Mexican missions, which was my Uncle Ed Stone's home mission effort, if you want to call it that, to Mexico. Talk about Mexican missions.
So he went to Mexico City for 2 years at the university and studied Spanish and came out quite fluent in Spanish. Then he went on the border and started working with people and developed a Bible school in Reynosa across the border and set up various things to help them. Like the women had a sewing class, and he taught the men how to preach and teach. And in his 69 years there, he built 69 churches across Mexico.
And the Bible school is still operating, right?
It's still operating,
there today.
right? And the sewing school still goes on today.
That is a wonderful...
And the graduates are certified by the government and can open their own sewing business if they want to.
That's a wonderful legacy. And I know even when the Mexican missions work was going on, you were living in Houston initially, working for Southern Bible College, but then Southern Bible College was involved in that missions work too, right?
Yes, we had graduates that went out as missionaries, and if they weren't too far away, I would take a team there at the Christmas break or in the summer and see if we could help them in the work they were doing there.
That's great. And then I know we've talked in the previous segment about how you moved from Houston to Southwestern Assemblies of God, at that time college, now university, and took George Brazel's position. But you also became acquainted with someone there, an individual, and then that individual's family. Talk about that.
Yes, we met one of the shortest boys that was related to the missionary, Cletus and Ruby Shortest, who ministered in Guatemala. And in contact with him, then we got interested in taking teams to Guatemala to his mother, who continued after she lost her husband.
And as Cletus passed away, Ruby kept the ministry going, and you then and her son, Ron, would lead missions teams from Southwestern and Waxahachie down to Guatemala.
Yes.
How many trips do you think you made like that?
At least a dozen or more.
Wow, that's terrific. And then, I know a period of years passed where you taught at other colleges. You were continually active in Mexican missions in some way or another. Your organization, Global Christian Fellowship, of course, has contributed a lot of money and time and resources over the years.
That's true.
But then when you moved back to Texas in, if I remember right, 76, a new college popped up just across the border in Louisiana, Jimmy Swaggart Bible College, and we've talked about that before too, but this gives you an opportunity to go a little more in depth in your missions work that you did for JSBC, so talk about that.
Well, they invited me to join the faculty and had created a director of summer missions, and I became the director of summer missions, where we would recruit the students who wanted to go on a summer missions trip and train them, get the papers ready and everything, and take them on these trips. And we sent out as many as 12 or 15 teams a year.
So that would be 12 or 15 teams with 12 or 15 members per team. So somewhere between 125, 175 students each summer going out literally around the world.
Around the world.
Different places. I see in the notes here, that this is Mom's handwriting, 85 different mission teams through 70 years to 4 continents. You've been to Africa, North America, South America, and Asia, leading obviously hundreds of people and hundreds of students during that time
That's correct.
as they ministered to people and preached the gospel around the world. What an exciting, exciting concept.
Well, as I look back on that, I give thanks to God for opening the door and giving me the sensitivity to do something like that.
Well, it's amazing how God lays calls of all kinds upon people's heart.
That's
and
correct.
That was on yours. Now, I understand there's a Subway story that we need to talk about.
Oh, yeah, one of the teams we were assigned to work with a missionary in Mexico City. And they had undergone a terrific earthquake. And in downtown, they were destroying some buildings. We're not safe to be there anymore. And they put us in a downtown hotel. So to get where we needed to go, we would have to go downstairs into the subway and ride the subway till it came up and became an elevated. And then we would get off and a bus would take us to where we were actually helping a church to get started and build. And on this, we always boarded the subway at the busiest time of the afternoon. And we tried to keep our team together. We were on there and we had an African-American young lady on the team. And we were going and all of a sudden I heard her slap a guy. Whop, she hit him. And I said, what happened? And she said, he pinched me.
Oh my gosh.
And I thought, well, are the police going to come get us? Because he attacked a man on the subway. And it just passed away. So from then on, when we got on that subway, we put the girls together, and the men formed a circle around them, so none of the natives could get to them.
That makes great sense. Protect what you have. I understand that. And I've heard a similar story from other ladies from the United States that have traveled in Europe and Spain, other places. The cultures are just different like that. But that's a terrific learning experience for the young men and the young women about how cultures outside the United States can be very different.
That is true.
Well, we've been using a traditional sign-off on every one of these videos. You remember what that is? It's the thing that you always say. You tell everybody to do what?
Keep stroking. There's a shoreline out there somewhere.